at 7. Working against Butler, got downhill, couldn't punch it. Bam says, get it out of here. Here comes Bledsoe. Bam with a great block from behind. Bam! Oh my! And Adebayo.
So what's going on, you guys? I'm an NBA fan crazier, and yeah, that just happened. So the Brooklyn Nets beat the Miami Heat 128 to 124, partly because of their really good 3-point shooting, 19 for 37 from 3, 51% from 3, and Kyrie Irving 12 points in the last 5 minutes and 48 seconds of the game. And this is the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden's first win as a trio in a Brooklyn Nets uniform. The trio. Bam Adebayo had an incredible night, 41 points. Like he's gone into his bag offensively too. He's an incredible defender. We want to see him go really well offensively with mid-range, post-ups and isolation plays, which is improved on this season. So for more on my game recap, let's actually roll the tape. I mean, really, let's roll the tape. So welcome to game recap Nets Heat on January 23rd, 2021. The game just got over and I'm gonna do an immediate recap right now. Okay, so the Brooklyn Nets win this game 128 to 124. They go to 10 and 8 and Heat fall to 6 and 9. With Nets at 8 and 4 at home, Heat at 2 and 6. But I don't think this team has issues on the road. It's just that they are facing a lot of injuries. I believe if we don't have injuries, we could have probably been at a positive road record and an above 500 team, because the games that the Heat didn't win without the best players against teams that are more healthier were winnable games that the Heat lost. This game, certainly an example, was a winnable game. I'm not providing an excuse, but it certainly wouldn't have helped to have your best players in there, but it wouldn't have helped if you take shots from let's just get into my main first takeaway on this game. Bam Adebayo, man, he was phenomenal this game. If we had to win this game, Bam Adebayo was the only dude worth talking to on the end of the game. Who jacks or top? There's no other guy. If anyone else came close to this game, it's probably Duncan Robinson, or maybe even Goran Dragic or Kendrick Nunn too, because those three guys and Bam, those three guys are probably the second, but Bam and Robinson are the ones who help fuel the Heat's fourth quarter comeback after they are down like 16 before Bam hit that long 2 to end the third, and then the Heat started to stage a run, ultimately getting to a point where they were down just 1. But Andre Iguodala, man. I love Andre. He's a very savvy veteran. I like the days when he played for the Warriors. Just a solid defensive veteran. But the fact still stands. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Just that's it. What are you doing? What are you doing? And another, see, when you're down 110 to 111, when you're getting the ball to Bam, maybe both played a role in the turnover. Andre Iguodala, you pass it out of bounds and you don't even reach Bam's finger. And then the next time down, when you put Joe Harris on Bam in that possession and you try to double team, you don't even catch the ball. You caught the ball and you turned it over. And this is not an indictment on Iggy. He did make some crucial threes, crucial stops on the defensive end. He did come up with some steals, and he was probably one of the main reasons why we even won that game against Tampa, or else we are 0-3 right now instead of 1-2. Okay, 0-3 instead of 1-2 because of Iguodala, but it doesn't excuse him the fact that he committed 2 turnovers in the biggest moments. When we are down 1, we got it to within 1 after that Kendrick Nunn 3, and they're bringing it up the floor, and then he just turns it over. Okay, he just turns it over. And then when James Harden misses when after Kevin Durant made a three to make it one, Kyrie Irving made a three, contested three with you in his face, and then you go in the next way, he just caught it and then you lost the ball. It hits your hands and then goes out of bounds. When you knew they're gonna double Bam because they played small with KD at the 5. You know who they played? They played Jeff Green, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Joe Harris. Then you put Joe Harris on one, they're gonna double team, and then you lost the ball out of bounds when he completely is dominating the whole night to get us close. He dominated the whole night just to even have a shot at a win. When you're short-handed in Brooklyn, these games do not come often. Look, I'm not trashing this team. This team clearly shows heart every single day. Yeah, I get that. And the heart is the reason why they were even in games at a talent disadvantage. But at a certain point comes, you have to maximize each possession when you're short-handed. It just increases the intensity of, it just increases the probability you have to score and get stops. It's not even like Brooklyn and they have 3 shot makers in their hand who can make late game shots, and Harden, Irving, and Kevin Durant. These 3 are insanely talented offensive talent, so you have to go at them in the defensive end because they aren't strong at defense. Matter of fact, I believe the only reason they even won was because we even went cold from 3. I mean, talk about going. I mean, look at this. 13 for 46 from 3? Come on. And our 3 best shooters combined to go, what is it? 8, 6, our 3 best shooters, you know how many, you know what their accuracy was on 3? Our 3 best shooters. Duncan Robinson, 3 for 11. Goran Dragic, 0 for 6. Kelly Olynyk, 1 for 8. Do you know what makes an attempt they have combined? 4 for 25. That never happens. Especially to these dudes. Duncan Robinson, 3 for 11. Goran Dragic, 0 for 6. I do not ever see Goran Dragic go for 6. Yeah, this makes 1 3. But at least he compensated for that by carrying the burden of the playmaking load, which was pretty interesting. But Bam did everything he could to get us that win. Everything he could. And the least you could do was at least get some stops and some shots in the perimeter, because he knew the Brooklyn Nets were at a size disadvantage and they don't have anyone to guard Bam in the post. So he knew they're going to double team him soon. Hit the shots, please. Hit the shots. Hit it. Just hit the damn shots. And do not come in clueless, because Brooklyn can get away with it because they're that talented. They're going to make tough shots like how Kevin Durant does or Kyrie Irving does. Okay? We do not have that luxury with Jimmy or Hero out. Okay? So we have to maximize, get the best shots, because these 3 dudes in the Nets, they can take and make tough shots. We are not the team, so you gotta go for the best shot possible. Going 4 for 25 for your 3 best shooters didn't help. It certainly doesn't ever help at all. Okay, and going 0 for 25, come on, man, this is absolutely ridiculous. And overall night, he did 13 for 46 from 3 compared to Brooklyn hit 19 for 37. So overall on the night, the Heat went 47% from the field, 42 for 89 actually. 13 for 46, 28%. 27 for 32 from the free throw line, 84%. Why did you not call the fucking timeout, man? Why do you not call the damn timeout? When you're down 3 and Kyrie Irving misses the free throws, it back rim in and out, and then Harden fouls you, why were you not calling timeout? I know Sports tried to call time. Someone on the court, you're down 3 with the ball. Okay? You're down 3 with the ball in your hands. Better call a timeout and design a play. This is a joke. Like, I'm not bashing this team, but this is a strategic play. When you're down 3, don't go for the transition 3. Have a chance where you know where your guys are gonna go. At least have a designated set around you that all of these guys know who the 5 on the floor at the time. Nunn, Dragic, Robinson, Iguodala, and Bam. Okay, have a design set because these guys capable of running sets. Kendrick Nunn's capable of playing on the ball, catch and shoot. Goran Dragic can, though he's off for the night. Duncan Robinson catch and shoot. Iguodala and Bam can play make. With they both can play make and set dribble handoffs or go to the rim. I'm just saying there are limitless possibilities. Like, you tried calling a timeout. And then it just did not go. I mean, look at this. Andre Iguodala, there were like 5 seconds left. 5 seconds it's a pretty good decent amount of time for a catch and shoot. Okay? Or at least set into a motion open shot catch and shoot. And then he let Harden fouls Bam and he misses the first. Okay? He misses the first and he hits the second. And then immediately fall on. This can all be avoided. Do not ever put it in yourself in a position where you leave the game in the referee's hands. Do not ever do that. Okay? Because you can just avoid it. You can avoid that by just calling timeout. Don't ever put your the game's fate in the referee's hands. That's something I do not want to see. Because refs are very controversial. They make boneheaded plays from time to time. So yeah, why do you put yourself in that situation? And now this brings me to my final Brooklyn Nets takeaway from in this game. And then I'm not gonna go in depth on what Brooklyn did because they really did make tough shots. Their accuracy was pretty good on the night because they're making tough shots all around. Kevin Durant 31 points. Most of the shots are tough contested shots that he made. And sometimes I thought they left Kevin Durant wide open at times. And at times even left James Harden wide open. Those are bad defensive plays. Even in spite of them missing, these guys can convert these shots. Okay, so tough shot making isn't an issue. If you go to let's just say you go to Young Mustard's video is Young Mustard's channel, you can see his first possession playlist. I made a comment on the recent video saying late game shot making isn't a problem for these guys. They've been doing that for years now. Kyrie Irving hit a shot, one of the biggest shots in NBA history against the Warriors in 2016. Kevin Durant, 2 daggers in the same spot in Cleveland in Game 3 of both respective NBA Finals. Okay? He's capable of hitting those shots. So is James Harden. Maybe not in the playoffs, but in the regular season, certainly yes. You do not take your chances with leaving these guys open. And even if that a contested look should be given at times, you cannot leave these guys open. You can take your chances. That doesn't help the fact that they have one of the best shooters in the league with Joe Harris next to them. Offensive versatility at a premium is at a premium here. The Brooklyn Nets have offensive versatility. What they don't have is defensive versatility. Because though they have Kevin Durant, an above average defender, you do not want to keep relying on him coming off an Achilles injury. Okay, especially with the burden that you've given him on the offensive end too. Maybe it would help if Harden maybe gets off on his sleep, because he wasn't that aggressive yesterday. Looking at James Harden's stat line here, he had 11 assists, 7 rebounds, and then 12 points. He is facilitating for most of the night, and it isn't enough if you give almost 4 first-round picks, Caris LeVert, Jared Allen, Taurean Prince, for a guy who passes out shots. And I know probably James Harden's the one to take the step back because he's the only guy who can play make. He's the only guy who has a vision of a point guard because he's led the league in assists at times. So he's the guy to probably sacrifice, but you still don't want to see him taking 2 for 8. And also doesn't help the Heat that James Harden went 0 for 5. It helped the Heat that James Harden went 0 for 5 because he could just wake up. He's proven that he can be a scorer, but he's willing to take the necessary step back. I like the fact that Harden's done that as he came to Brooklyn because it gives me more hope that I could pick the Nets if they want to win a chip. With now knowing Kyrie is more playing like a shooting guard with less dribbling. Kevin Durant's at times okay with catch and shoot because Durant is that good of a threat off ball. He can just catch and shoot too. His accuracy is just lethal. His mid-range game is really good. Okay, so mid-range game is really good. Okay, so overall, yeah. So one other thing I'm really encouraged by overall in this game is the fact what kind of shots Bam took. Okay, what kind of shots Bam took overall. His shots mostly came from mid-range. It certainly doesn't help that he had only 5 rebounds. Yes, and people have now started thinking Bam as more of a true power forward now. And I've been advocating for this since last season. Get a guy who can crash the boards. You do not want Bam to do that. Play him at the 5 in the playoffs. Do not tax him now, especially guarding bigs. You do not want to only rely on getting boards because every single time I see this season, 2 guys come at Bam to get the board and they do. It would help if this team has more size up front, okay? And I know Achua plays backup 5. It's not like Spoelstra's played Bam and Achua together, so either way. You do not play these guys together too, so you certainly can use a bit of size up front to help with the rebounding. And I think the Nets got JaVale McGee and I think Norvel Pell. Did the Nets get JaVale McGee? And then I think the Nets got JaVale McGee. He can help on the rebounding part, but in terms of stopping the best big man, people think he's gonna land on the Nets. It'd be a big help for Brooklyn because they could use size on the boards. But in terms of stopping the best big man in the league, I don't know how he'd fare because I don't think he'd fare that well. Because McGee is more of an energy type guy. These guys require true defensive players. Okay? They do. So overall, and I think they'll also get Norvel Pell, who might be a pretty good player because I think I saw him against the Celtics Sixers game last season. He played well in the few minutes that he did get, and that game was in Philly. I think it was like a January 9th or 10th game. I don't remember that. I think it was like a January 9th Thursday game which came on TNT or something like that. Either way. So overall, I really like the fact that the Heat did try in this game, but I did not like the fact that you had the chance to win this game and you let it go. Because with Jimmy and Hero out, you need as many wins as possible. Because you don't want to keep pressurizing them to come. You don't know how long it takes for them to come back. So it helps that if you win the games that you did. And that's certainly why I like the fact that they won the game in Tampa against that. You can see my game recap right there. And Heat Raptors second game recap also right there. So okay man, I think that's about it on the Heat Nets recap. So let's go to the Miami Heat plays of the day. So let's go right now.
He had hit 16 of his last 17 field goals. As a matter of fact, he's in a 7-game span coming in, making 24 of his 27 shots because he takes shots like that.
Yeah, he's inside 5 feet on everything. Gordon waits, and then gets there to the right area.
Bam gets it off. Knocks it down. Bam Adebayo. And they turn him over again on the Iguodala steal. Here comes Vincent back to Nunn. Hammered it down. Kendrick Nunn.
So that's the Miami Heat plays of the day. So that will take us to the finish line. So I thank you guys for watching this video on Heat Nets. game recap. And Heat Nets second game will come tomorrow after the conclusion of the second game in Brooklyn, with Miami facing off against the Nets. So we'll see you on that one. Brooklyn will be wearing the BK Alwine Gray Statement Edition uniform. Miami will be wearing its White Association Edition uniform before going home to face off against the Denver Nuggets. So I thank you guys for watching this video once again. I'll see you all next time, man. I'll see you all next time. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you like the content put out by me, please subscribe to the channel. Do not miss a piece of daily NBA content. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video.